y'all? It's your girl, Renee Nicole. And welcome to the last episode of the Healing series, where the healing resides, of Name a Better Duo. It's been a fun ride. Hey, beautiful. How are you? So excited about all the healing that has occurred over the course of this season, of this series. 6 episodes of healing, and we are in the last one now. Healing from generational lack. We have a familiar guest rejoining us on this evening, afternoon if you're on the West Coast. And yeah, I'm excited about it. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, my brother. Thank you guys for joining. I'm going to just give my guests a few moments to get on in. But happy Friday, everyone. How's your week been? Mine's been a little bit hectic. My day's been hectic. It's crazy. This is the first time that I was ready on time. However, I started working on another project and got behind my schedule. So I'm so glad that you guys are here with me on your Friday. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. I appreciate that. Oh, what do you mean you don't have the option to join? Let me see. That's strange. Okay. If our guest is here, he has arrived. Okay, but it says he doesn't have the option to join. Let me know now if you are able to. You better just pop up. You better just appear. Okay. Welcome. Kareem Ellis is in the building. Burr, 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 burr. Thank you for rejoining us. We are so excited. The last combo was so good, I had to bring Kareem back for another episode of Name a Better Duo. I was just letting our guests know that this is the last of the Where the Healing Resides series. This one is Healing from Generational Lack. I'm sure a lot of us can relate to this topic, but we're going to hop into it. And we're going to heal. We are going to evolve, and we are going to change and break generational curses, patterns, and just be new, okay, in this thing. How are you feeling today, Kareem?
I'm feeling very good. Happy it's Friday.
Yes.
Friday. End of the work week, ready to get some rest and relaxation. Aside from
R&R
things, yes.
I'm here for it. Thank you, everyone, for joining. We are excited to have you here. I'm going to introduce Kareem to you. We're going to get into this conversation because it's going to be good. Y'all already met him. What was that? November? Holiday season. But here we are back. We hopping in the spring, and we got another good conversation for you. Kareem Ellis is the owner and founder of Ellis Tie Company. Hey, you better rep, okay? Specializing in handmade and custom-made ties. He is also a music producer and tech whiz with a love, you done fixed my computer a few times, with a love for all things finance. You may remember Kareem from Name a Better Duo's Black Wealth series, where he educated us on stock options, something that I still need to work on, but we're going to get there. And he's here today to share his journey to creating generational wealth for he and his children and generations to come. Welcome back, Kareem. How are you?
I'm doing very good.
Yes, go ahead and follow him. Look, you're getting some business in the comments.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I've had a very busy day, and I'm excited. I'm always excited about this part of my day because I get to wrap it up with you guys before I start the weekend officially. So I'm excited. So let's hop right into this conversation. Kareem, tell us about your upbringing.
Well, I grew up in a small city named Steubenville, Ohio.
Ohio. I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, some people say I have a small little country twang down here, but
okay.
I don't care.
You live in Virginia, so it's like...
Yeah. Let's see. My mom had me and my sister young, so grew up with her for a while. They ended up having a stepdad. He got sick, wasn't really able to work, so we grew up in the projects, basically. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
and he was a minister, so
Oh, okay.
church family living in the projects.
Yeah. It'd be like that. It'd be like
Yes.
that. So were finances discussed in your household when you were coming up?
Not at all. You know, since my mom didn't work and my stepdad didn't work, they never talked about money. My real father, my biological, really wasn't around. I mean, he worked, he did things to make money, but he was never there. And I don't think he was really that deep into it. He was like a Rolling Stone, you know. He would work during the day, DJ at night. So that's where I kind of get some of my music from. But DJ at night, you know, really didn't sing. So
Got it, got it. Okay. And how did that affect you mentally, socially? How did your upbringing affect you?
growing up poor, you know, affected me mentally because, you know, I didn't have enough money to buy a candy bar. So I really knew growing up, I had to do something to take myself out of that situation. But also growing up with a minister as a stepfather, life was really strict. So I think that's where I probably
Yeah.
get my introverted side from. You know, I'm pretty shy. So
Got it. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I love that you bring that up because I feel like one of the things that I want to encourage us to do is not to get to stay stuck, you know? And I think
yes.
that oftentimes we use and things impact, I say this all the time, things impact everyone differently, but we
Mhm.
can sometimes use our past as a crutch,
Yes.
as to, oh well, my mama was this way, my daddy was this way, and I'm gonna be this way, my children no, that's
Yeah.
what we're here for, to break those generational curses right here right now. And I love that you said that. I feel like what you went through kind of it created a work ethic in you. Like, I want more.
Yeah, well, my dad, he had a lot of children, and very young, he told me, don't be like me. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But I knew that I needed him in my life. So that's why I always said when I have kids, I will always have my kids in my life. You know,
Yeah.
it's a no-brainer. Your kids need you to nourish them, and you need them forever. I mean, they need, you
Yeah.
know, your kids need your father forever and your mother for that matter, you know.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. And we don't always realize how even just that small, order from your dad, "Don't be like me," kind of sticks. It sticks in our mind. I remember certain things that my mother told me that I still remember to this day. And you've done that because now you have
Mhm. Right.
three children of your own, and you're like, I'm very active in their lives. And I think that
Yes.
that's a great thing to do the
Yes.
opposite of a bad thing that we were exposed to in childhood.
He basically gave me the blueprint of what not to do. You know what I mean? So I knew how I felt times when he said he would pick me up and I'm waiting, looking out the window, waiting for him, and he never shows.
Yeah.
So that gave me the motivation to never be absent in my kids' lives. If
Yeah.
they ever need me, and if I tell them I'm going to do it, I 100% follow through. So
That's, come on, 100%. That's enough. Because I feel like, we can always say, oh, I didn't have the blueprint, I didn't have the example, but we have the example of what not to do.
exactly.
You have the blueprint of what not to do. So yeah, just do the opposite.
Yes.
Try that out. See how that goes for you. I love that. Okay. How have these early experiences helped or impacted how you deal with money today?
With money, well, not being able to buy stuff made me. That's what drove me to go to school to
Mm,
get, you know, my bachelor's from Kent State University. Then I went back and got my master's from Strayer since I worked
me
there.
too.
What else? Also, that's what drives my entrepreneurial spirit too. You know, I know that if I can't get where I want to get, you know, working for somebody else, well, that's a whole nother story. But you usually can't get where you want to get working for somebody else. But use that job to fuel your dreams. So,
Yeah. Man, I just think about, where we worked at Strayer University and the
mhm.
time there. I remember being there and just like, oh, I hate this job. And, I hate just this numbers game, because that's what it was in the position I
Yes.
was in. But the skills that I learned there, like the communication skills that I gained, the ability to like talk people off the ledge, because a lot of the time that's what I had to do, dealing with people who were, you know, going back to school and unsure of themselves. Just, man, my communication skills, my administrative skills, like all those things I gained from that 9 to 5, that I use now today in establishing my own business. So I think that we can sometimes, you know, we can sometimes put a bad, you know, now that entrepreneurs, you know, that's like the thing now, you know, starting
Yeah.
your own, create an LLC, da, 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 da. And it's like, yes, do those things, but don't, don't underestimate the importance of the skills that you can gain in a job and the capital that you can build. Just be wise with your time, you know, and I
Yes.
think that's
Working at a
important.
job, it's like you're basically in college that you're getting paid to attend. You know, I've been in meetings with the CEOs and everybody at Strayer. I probably not supposed to be saying this, but I've been in, you know, meetings where I've had to talk in these type of settings. So it really does teach you what to expect when you get in meetings and you have to make deals, or how to talk to different vendors and things like that. So.
And it also taught me, again, like we said, with growing up in our upbringing, it taught me what not to do, right? Because managers that didn't manage well taught me, okay, let me not do that. You know, maybe let me include my employees this way. Maybe let me talk to my employees this way. Yeah, it just made me, and it made me appreciate like work-life balance more. That's one thing that I always say, like I will encourage with my employees and not make people feel bad for coming to me needing time. You know,
Yeah,
like I think there's certain things that you can learn to appreciate more being on the other side, being an employee
exactly.
versus being an employer.
I agree.
Yeah. What was your first introduction to managing money?
Um, I will say when I was around 15 or 16, there's a guy who like jacked my hair up. So I learned how to cut my own hair. And then
Okay.
once I did that, I started cutting everybody in the neighborhood's hair. So this is how I actually made money to buy school clothes.
Okay.
So managing money, I knew how much I would need to get school clothes. So I had to
Yeah.
make sure I had enough haircuts to fuel, you know, to be able to buy my own school clothes. So.
Man, that I love that story because I have a lot of people. My brother is one of them. I have a lot of people in my life, or people that I just kind of look at and see at a young age. You kind of had that entrepreneur spirit, you know. And I feel like some people kind of have that innately. I don't know what it is, but like know how to hone in on their skills and make money off of them. Like that's a
Yeah,
great thing to learn. Like, oh, I can cut hair and make money off of this. You know,
I think
I feel like for me, I've had to like grow into, you know, the entrepreneurial spirit because I've always been a worker. Like that was
yeah,
what I saw, you know, and that's what like as soon as I was old enough, so I was turned 14, I was like, I'm getting me a job, you know, and you know, I think that's a good thing as well, you know, that I've always learned and known how to work and how to make money that way. But the fact that you were able to find a way to like make your own schedule and do things at your own pace at a young age is super cool to me.
and I feel like I did it out of necessity because I have a lot of friends who actually they were out on the block, you know.
Mm,
I grew up knowing that I can make money other ways than being out on the block, you know. So
yes.
I never felt like I knew I never wanted to go to jail, so I didn't want to have to watch my back, you know. So
Yeah,
it really
yeah.
came out of necessity.
I love it. And I feel like, you know, we can say that, and it's true. It's out of necessity and knowing I don't want to go to jail. But also, there's something in you, you know, sometimes it's just a rare thing that not everyone has. You know, it's like, you know what, there's another way, and I'm going to figure that out, and you figure that out. So that's great. So we talked about managing money. Let's hop a little bit into credit.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's another thing that I witnessed early, you know, in my family life and just seeing how credit can impact your circumstances.
Yes.
How, what were your early experiences with building credit?
Well, I didn't know I can get a credit card until I went to college. And my first credit card came when I was 18, walking around campus. You know how they say, sign up and get a free
Yeah.
t-shirt or something like that.
Yeah.
I ended up getting 2 different credit cards, but one was like for 500 and one was for 1,000. I wish I had those small credit cards now. So,
Yeah.
but that was my first experience with credit. And that was my experience for a Gap until I finally broke down and bought a car. You know, growing up, in my city, it was so small, we just walked everywhere. So even at like 18 or something, you can walk from one end to the other in like north end to south end in like 20 minutes. So it wasn't necessarily a necessity, or you could hop on the bus. Even when I went to Kent State, I didn't buy a car immediately because as freshmen, you couldn't keep your car on campus, you know, something like that. So yeah, I don't think I got financed the car until I was like 24, I would say.
Okay. Yeah. I was fresh out of college, and it's funny because I just seeing how much credit can like keep you from getting a place and keep you, you know, I was always afraid. I thought that I had to just not have credit. You know what I mean? Like when I was young, I thought that like no credit cards. I don't want any parts of that. You know, I just thought credit cards were a bad thing. And then I had to actually learn, you know, when I think the first one, like I think I was like 21, my mom was like, you need to like establish credit.
That's what
And
I
it's
told
okay. It's okay to get a small credit card. I think my first credit card was $300 from Capital One. But I was like, I would use it for gas, and I was just like, I'm not I just didn't want to jack up my credit. So I've always been really, really particular when it comes to credit. But yeah, it's funny how we can like take from our experiences and do different things. Some people kind of like do the same thing that they see, and then some people are like, I'm doing the exact opposite. Some people do something in between, but it's all on your how it impacted you, you know.
Well, the thing about credit, I will say it's good that you had your family because see, I was on my own with my first $500 credit card. And I don't know how long it took me to max it. I'm sure it wasn't long, but here I was making a $10 minimum payment for a long time, you know, not really thinking about it, trying to keep all my extra money. Because back when I was 18, I'm not going to say how much minimum wage was, but I know I will age myself. I can't tell everybody, all your listeners and whatnot.
Oh, I'll tell them, okay? I think my first job, my freshman year of college, I made like $6.
Yeah, mine was less than that. Mine was.
Oh, okay.
It was more.
Sorry.
I was back in the $4 and something minimum wage. Don't choke. Don't choke.
I was like, man, that's like when I was waiting tables. I remember I worked at Pizza Hut when I was 16, and I think I made like $2 because I was a waitress making tips. So they give you $2 and some change.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm reading one of the comments, but money in our culture is looked at as evil. I believe that saying money is the root of all evil hinders us from looking at money as a tool. Especially, I thank you for bringing that up, especially coming from a spiritual background or having a minister as a father or stepfather. I feel like we can sometimes think that we are not supposed to have a whole lot, you know? Like pastors that have nice cars and stuff. I understand that because they think that they're stealing from the church. But like we can be taught like, like, you know, be humble, be meek, be mild, don't just have enough, you know? And I think that our generation is getting more is starting to entertain more wealth, you know, and that it's okay. Who wants to struggle?
I believe those lessons were taught, if you go back to slavery days, you know, when they preached specifically to slaves that money was the root of all evil. And I believe there's some truth behind that. But I also believe, like you said, money can be a tool. You know, people aren't taught that it can be a tool. You know, I know a lot of people who do stupid stuff for money, you know. But if you look at somebody who's using it as a tool, that's a way that you gain your freedom. You know, those are things that we're not taught. You know, money is to me, it's my ticket to freedom. It's my ticket to not getting up with my alarm clock. It's my ticket to, I don't know, do whatever I want. I want to travel. I want to lounge around, all that, you know. Money is the ticket to that. Money is the ticket to become the bourgeoisie, not be a proletariat anymore.
Okay. So what did it take for you to change your mindset on finances?
Um, I've probably felt this way since I was 18 or so. I knew that, well, just working jobs, you see people orchestrate how high you can go up. I've been in positions
Mm,
where I was actually on the move up, and then something comes and it bumps you back down. It was
yeah.
always somebody else's hand dictating how far I can go. And that actually changed my perception on working and money and finances. Because when you have the freedom, you don't have those stresses of worrying about moving up. You're free. You don't have to worry about
I
meeting
am
deadlines.
up. I run
You know,
this.
so yes.
Yeah. No, that's really good. Like I feel like freedom, like you said, money is a tool to
Mhm.
freedom, and I think that is that's what drives me.
Yes.
It's just having the freedom to say, I want to do this today. I don't
Hmm.
have to call out sick. I don't have to, come up with some excuse on why. Like I can set my own schedule. I can create, and I think that's the ultimate goal, right? For many of us, and
Exactly.
think, and like you said, money is a tool. Your 9 to 5 might be your tool. Whatever it
Yes.
is for you, but just the steps to generational wealth, the steps to breaking generational curses starts here. It's
Exactly.
all in the mental. And I think that we have to do the work. I say that every week, especially during this series. Do the work to change our mindset about money. It doesn't have to be a taboo thing. It doesn't have to be something that we're afraid of.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I think having these conversations, like especially in our community, we're so hush hush when it comes to money, and it's unfortunate because many of our counterparts are learning these things as children that we're having to educate ourselves on as adults. And that's why I wanted to talk about this topic and how we can heal from that, because poverty can sometimes be a hole that you just
Hmm.
you're digging deeper and deeper, generation to generation, if we don't take the time to teach the next on how to
Exactly.
get out of that hole. So how are you teaching your children about finances?
Well, my oldest son, he already has his own trading account.
That's
My
awesome.
middle,
How old is he?
21.
Okay.
My middle son is 16, and he actually is being taught finance in school. They actually are doing like a trading contest,
Okay.
where whoever has the biggest balance. So it's good because we, play off each other and stuff like that. Whenever I
Yeah,
talk to
I
my
love it.
oldest son about stocks, my middle son is there. And
Mm.
we talk about crypto and everything like that too. My middle son, he's not old enough to buy crypto, but he watches Bitcoin and then he'll say, Dad,
Yeah.
can you take this $200 and put it in Bitcoin for me? And then, wait for it to run up and then I'll cash it out and give it back to him. And with my
I
daughter, my
Yeah.
little princess, she hears us talking, so she wants to do it. So there's this, I don't know if it's UNest or something like that. We can pay $10 a month and you can have a trading account for your kids too. So that's something I'm actually going to do for her since she wants to be involved, since she sees her older brothers doing it. So
I love it. And how old is she?
11.
Oh wow, that's awesome. Let me tell you, because at 33, 32, when I got into stocks, I was so confused,
Mm.
And so imagine how much more advanced 33-year-old me would have been if I had started at 11,
I agree.
Like I love that, and just imagine the freedom she's going to have as an adult, where she can, I think a lot of us sometimes work jobs that we're not happy in
Hmm.
because we don't have a choice,
Yes.
but to give your children the choice,
Hmm.
I think one of the things, and I struggle with this, I don't have children, but I thought about if I were to, I don't want them not to have work ethic. I don't want them not to, like, I feel like I had to work for everything that I have.
Mm.
I don't want them not to have that, I don't want to feel like I'm handing things over to them on a platter. However, I do want them to have the freedom to actually do the things that they're good at and the things that
Hmm.
makes them happy, and that's the difference in that. Like you can still instill work ethic in your children while setting them up for success. You
Yes.
know, I think that creates a deeper work ethic when you're actually working for something that you love.
Yes. Well, both of my sons worked. My oldest son works now and he goes to college. My middle son worked for a while at Wendy, saved up a lot of money, and now he has a nice little stash that where he
Okay.
can say invest, you know.
Yeah.
So to me, I feel like if these were their last work experiences, I'm okay with that. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I mean, they have it in, my oldest son has it in his mind. He's thinking about buying a condo or a townhouse. So we talked about the steps that he needs to take, you know. I mean, a lot of parents charge their kids rent when they're like 21, but
Mm-hmm.
I told him instead of paying rent, you take $100 a week or something like that and put it in your trading account.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And by the time you graduate college, you probably have enough to buy, you know, your place flat out cash. So you don't have to pay a mortgage and you've already built up all that equity in the place. So when you do settle down, get married and all that, you already have hundreds of thousands of dollars in equity so you can go and buy a house for your family. And if you keep up with the trading, you may not have to work. You may get to really enjoy your life. And these are the things I wish somebody told me when I was, I don't know, 11 or 12.
Man, you're getting comments. You're a fire father. What a great way to educate your children.
Thank you.
No,
Thank you.
man, I'm just floored because I feel like, we can really, really change the game. There's so many things. Like when you think, and this is like a whole nother conversation, but I just think about like divorce rates and like how a lot of the time relationships are hindered because of the man's working all the time or the woman's working all the time. You're putting your son in a position where he can spend more time with his family.
Mhm.
You're looking ahead. Like a lot of the time we're only thinking about the right now,
Yeah,
but
well, I feel like you're supposed to hand the baton to your children,
yeah.
not where you started. You know, help them get where you are so they can get further than you, and then their children keep getting further. You know, that's my mom. That's the way I really think.
Yeah,
I tell them about my mistakes that I made. You know, and
right.
here's what you do. Don't do this. Do this. You know.
I love that. So how can we break the barriers that are set up against us, especially those who are coming from poverty or just not from lack? How can we break those barriers?
I would say right now, there's no excuse for anybody. You know, you have things like YouTube, Udemy. There's all kind of information out there. You just have to step out on faith and take a risk. You know what I mean? A lot of people are scared to take the risk, you know, in the stock market or buying real estate or crypto or however you want to make money. It's really about taking a risk. A lot of people are scared of that risk, but there's so many helpful tools out there that will help you learn. You know, I'll take a risk. I'll start a business like like that.
Yeah.
When I started my Thai business, I was on the road driving back from seeing my mom, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. The same
Yeah.
thing with trade. I started off trading penny stocks and I was getting crushed, but I just did it. You know, I lost money.
Mm,
I mean, I'm not saying I'm a expert trader now, but I know how to make some money too. So
right. Man, I'm trying to find this YouTube video that I watched last night because that's so on point. I can't find it. But with what they were talking about, it was this young man. Man, his name was Maddie something. I wish I could remember his name, but he was like, I'm not afraid to take a risk. And that's the reason why I've become so successful. Man, this guy has done it all. He shared his whole story. He had started off as like a party promoter in college, and from there got into Airbnb, and now he's
mm-hmm.
getting into like Turo and renting his like
Mm-hmm.
exotic cars and things like that. And I was like, man, that's what it takes. It takes a certain amount of fearlessness, and it's easier said than done when you don't have a lot.
Well, I
You
will say,
know?
I was gonna say, I grew up. I was already at the bottom, so there was nowhere to go but up. I'm either gonna stay at the bottom or excel. You know, so.
Where are
But
we
I would
gonna
say,
go from here? We can't go further than here,
yes.
And it's like, that's a word. Like when you don't have a lot, that's when you can take the risk because it's like you
Mm-hmm.
don't have as much to lose. Like imagine you sitting on millions of dollars, like you're a little afraid to lose that.
Mm-hmm.
But when you only got but so much, it's like it can only go up from here. I love that.
It can only go up, but you have to have the determination and the drive to start, because if you don't have the drive, like when you're at the bottom, you don't have two nickels, or what is it, two pennies to rub together, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to figure out a way to get it. That's why I say I started cutting hair, you know,
Yeah.
to start, you know, getting money. And then from there, I guess I did everything. I had a record company. I've had it all.
I love it though. And I feel like most successful business people have. You know, think of like any successful entrepreneur has started several businesses before one hit, you
Oh,
know?
yeah. You can't be
And
scared to fail.
you
So,
cannot be scared to fail. That's been my motto in this season. Like I've been thinking about Michael Jordan and that last dance and how he was fueled from like the naysayers. He was fueled by like when negative things would happen, you know, and that's been like my mindset of late. It's like, oh, nope, that's gonna give me the energy I need to work harder and get to where I want to be.
yeah, the
You know?
negative energy and haters are nothing but classroom experiences. You take that stuff right there, you know, write it down, work it, and then
Yeah,
flip those haters
learn.
into, turn them into fans.
Okay. Learn from your experiences. I love it. So I talked earlier about how once you get into like a hole, you can just dig deeper and deeper into that hole. What are some suggestions to you to slowly but surely find your way into financial freedom?
Um, Take the first step. You know, no matter how far you are in the hole, you can get out.
Yeah.
So it's really about taking the first step, you know, because some people can get in that hole and it causes depression and anxiety and things like that. But
Yeah.
failing is not going to kill you. Dust yourself off, get back up. You know, watch some YouTube videos. You want to learn any skill that you want to learn, you can Google it or YouTube it, and then, you know, you're good. I
Yeah.
do I do work around my house because I don't feel like paying a plumber. You know, all I do is YouTube it,
Yeah.
and then I get to work.
That's a good example. I feel like we can say that I don't know how. You know, we can
Yes,
always say I don't know how, I don't have the tools, but it's out there. And
yes.
especially now, it's out there. Our generation is so blessed in the amount of resources that we have at our fingertips.
Hmm.
And like everyone's saying on Instagram, it's annoying, but it's true. It's like we ain't got no excuses
No.
at this point in time. Like everything is right there. So do it, you know, and that's what I wanted to have this particular topic for, is to just encourage us to do it, to not succumb to our circumstances, and to just be smart, you know.
Hmm.
I think that it's very easy to want to, especially again with the social media thing, have nice things, you know, to, you know, spend money on things that don't have a lot of value.
Yeah.
But you know, like you said with your son, just putting $100 aside, you know, investing $100
Hmm.
every 2 weeks or a month or whatever you have, it builds up. It will add up
It
over
really
time. And
does.
you might think that you're, you know, too old, but you're never too old to get started. Like just start somewhere.
Yes, and I agree. And I want to just touch on what you said about Instagram and people. Like, I've never owned a pair of Jordans. You know, growing up,
Neither.
and the reason why, it's a funny story. In fifth grade, everybody had Jordans, so I asked my dad to buy me some. My biological dad, and he went and he saw the price, so he took me to Payless and got me something that looked like Jordans. So that's when I
Oh,
really understood that, you know, these shoes, you know, the value of the shoes is not going to make me. I'm walking around, I mean, people picked on me and stuff, but ever since then, I realized that I don't have to impress anybody, you know, what I wear, you know. I mean, and I'm at the age that if I'm walking around trying to buy fly clothes for Instagram and for other people, something's wrong with me.
something's wrong. I'm telling you, I can make my TJ Maxx outfit look fly, okay? It's
Yes,
all about your confidence and who you are, you know? And I think that, man, that's something too that we have to educate our children on and encourage them on. It's just like,
yeah,
yeah,
you
it's
can.
nice. I think my main thing is like, as much as we're support black businesses now, we're talking about, you know, support black business and this, that. I'm not giving all my money to Louis Vuitton. I'm not giving all my money to Gucci and all these people that I don't even know if they support me. You know, so a
Exactly.
lot of stuff is coming out. Is coming out in the open nowadays, and I'm gonna spend $1,000 on a. Oh no.
And you got to think, for less than 1,000, you could buy a share of Tesla. That's going to keep making money. And then say something happens to you, you're gonna pass somebody down. What would you rather pass on, a Louis Vuitton purse or some shares of Tesla?
Exactly. Exactly.
A
Now the
pair of
purse might have
Jordans
some
or some
value, but
Apple.
still. But still, man, this has been such a good conversation, Kareem. I love that we are having more conversations like this, especially in the Black community, because man, I'm seeing a shift, you know, and I think that the more we educate ourselves and share what we're learning, the greater that shift will be until it's normalcy, you know,
Mhm.
until it's like this is what we expect from each other. We expect each other to be doing well, to be making wise financial decisions, and to have wealth that we can pass on to the next generation.
Mhm.
So thank you for being transparent and sharing your story and trusting the space. We appreciate everything that you've taught us, you know. Use money as a tool, okay, to freedom. That was the main thing that I remember.
Yeah,
Okay.
I need like a 2 hour show. I have so much stuff that I could be talking
So
about.
keep on going, because look, we got time. Instagram done lifted the restrictions, so we got time.
That's funny.
But I do want to hop into this game before we go so everyone can enjoy. First of all, we're on the East Coast. It's daylight savings time that allowed us to have some daylight right now, okay? So
Yeah.
I want y'all to be able to enjoy the little bit of daylight that is left. We're going to play the this or that game. You know
Okay.
how this game goes, okay?
I
I'm
do.
going to give you two options, and you're going to tell me this or that. This is Kareem's opinion, okay? So don't be coming for us in the comments, all right?
Please don't.
All right, so the first one, save or invest?
um, I say invest. In saving, it's cool, but the bank makes more money on your money than you do.
Yep.
With investing, you're going to get more out of your money. You're really making your money work for you, especially if you put your money into dividend stocks. So I can get deep into it, but I'm not. But I'm going to say invest, invest, invest.
Yeah, I think that we I think that we don't invest because of ignorance,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because we don't have the education on what to invest in, or we don't know enough about how the stock market works. Ignorance and fear, you know,
Yes.
and afraid of losing, because you even share that you've lost money, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But when you, first of all, some basic tools when it comes to investing, if you are investing in an Apple, Tesla, or you know these stocks, these companies that we know are going to be around for a while, you good. You know you don't have to worry about losing money. It might fluctuate, go up and down, and that's where you got to take the emotion out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But you're Gucci. Okay, if you're investing in those type of stocks, you can trust and believe you're gonna make something, and you're gonna get some dividends from Apple. So take that out of it. Take the fear and the ignorance out of it. Educate yourself. Just watch a 30-minute YouTube video on, you know, what other people are doing and how to do it and what, you know, like it's out there. Like we said before, it's out there. So
Mm-hmm.
don't give the banks all your money. Go
Don't
get
get
some
none
more.
of it.
Go let your money compound. Okay. All right. Next one.
Mm-hmm.
Entrepreneurship or 9 to 5 or both.
I say first 9 to 5, then entrepreneurship. I don't say both, but it'd be nice. I mean, entrepreneurship is more, it's harder work, but once you really get your business running, you can hire people to work for you. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a matter of what you are selling, you know, or what is your business. You know, I think that you know, everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, but what is your business? You know, so just determining
yeah.
what your business is going to be,
Mm-hmm.
creating a plan on how you intend to make money from it and how long you anticipate it's going to take to make enough profit that you can live off of. You know, I don't
And
recommend, not everybody has the opportunity to go and quit their job.
I agree.
So,
And I think we as a people need to stop copying what the next person is doing. there's so many things that we don't have Black owned of, you know. But I can't. I'm a mask how I'm going to say this, but everybody can't make T-shirts or a clothing line. You know, we need internet service providers that's Black owned. You know, there's a lot of things that we need that we don't have, but everybody sees another person get successful, another Black person get successful, so they figure they're going to do the same thing. You know, we need to branch out. There's so many avenues. There's so many things that we can do.
And then they're mad when their company isn't successful because that market is oversaturated. You know,
Exactly.
like I wish that I could, you know, get rid of Sprint or, you know, and go to a Black owned cell phone provider, but where they at? You know,
Exactly.
so man, we have to think outside of the box, and a lot of those things really just seem so far fetched. But why? You know, why do they have to be? Someone else started it, someone else did it, so
I
there
mean,
has to
there's
be a
enough
way.
space for so many, but if
Yeah.
you're in a small town and you got 6 clothing lines, you know, you need something else.
Yeah. Try something new. Find a market that is not tapped into yet and create that thing. I love that, man. That's a gem.
And
Kareem just dropped a gem.
create something that you can leave to your kids, to your kids' kids. If you have an
Yeah.
urban clothing line, pretty, you know, even the big names like FUBU, Rockwear, they all fizzled out.
Where
Create
they at?
something that
Right.
will last. Create a lasting business. But I'm not going to get too deep. Like I said, I could talk for 2 hours, but I'm not going to get too deep.
No, that's good, man. That's good stuff. Create something that will last.
Yes.
Okay, so last one, and this is going to be way off topic, but I love doing these because it's fun to hear, to get to know the guest a little bit and their take. Nas or Jay-Z?
This is actually an easy one for me. My answer is Nas all the way. And my reason is Nas, well, he's always been the same Nas, you know. He doesn't make music for the masses. He makes music that he wants to make. I mean, everybody, I know sometimes his beat selection is pretty bad, but his lyrics actually balance out the beats that he picked that were bad. Like with Jay, I feel like Jay goes into the studio and say, I'm trying to make a hit. Nas, I think he goes in and makes music from his soul. So that's why I will say Nas, you know, over Jay all day. Plus, I've seen Nas live like a couple times. So.
Yeah, I think that Jay definitely has more of that money-making spirit. He's like, I'm gonna make some money. But first of all, I was floored to find out that this was Nas's first Grammy the other night.
Well,
He just won his first Grammy.
I don't watch award shows because they're popularity contests. You know, Nas never won a Grammy because he doesn't conform to the industry.
He's not mainstream.
Yes, he doesn't conform to the industry. So
no, I was shocked, but I wasn't shocked because when you think about it and the way the Grammys work, and same, like I stopped watching the Grammys, the Oscars, and all of that because it doesn't cater to us at all. But Nas is always in the, when you think about the greatest rappers, Nas is always in the conversation, I feel like, you know, so I was really shocked that he, you know what I mean? But
this album isn't even a Grammy winning album. This is not even his best album. So
that goes to show that it's about politics. You know, it's not necessarily about how great the body of work is. It's all about, okay, this is who we're allowing in now. Nas has been around too long not to have a Grammy. Let's go ahead and give him one.
Exactly.
Like, cause how many more albums do you think Nas has in him? You know,
this was like a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Right. That's what it was. Now, I will say I'm a Jay-Z fan. Jay-Z is my favorite. Well, back when I don't really listen to a whole lot of hip-hop anymore. I ain't gonna lie. But when I did, Jay-Z was my favorite rapper. But I appreciate Nas for what he is about, what he stands for. I mean, he got some records that aren't always about that, but but I love him and I love them both. I'm all for that era of hip hop.
They're both great. They're both in the top 10, you know. But Nas is mine.
I'll give him top 5. I'll give them both.
I give them both top 5, but I give Nas number 1.
Well, there you go. There you go. Kareem Ellis, you guys, number 1 Nas fan. Thank you so much, Kareem, for coming back.
Thank
and
you for
gracing
having me.
us with your presence and your knowledge once again. I hope that you guys took some notes. These were some great gems to share, to pass down to the next generation. We want to create generational wealth. We don't even hear that word like, what is that? I don't hear that word no more. We
Just
all
keep
about
saying
wealth.
it. Generational
We
wealth.
we're generational wealth. We are where the money resides and where the healing resides. Okay.
Exactly.
Thank you guys for being a part of this series. I am cooking up something exciting for you for the month of April. So sit back, enjoy next week, and we will be back in April with a brand new series. It's gonna be cool. We're gonna get into some of these new features that IG is offering us. So thank you again, Kareem. Let us know where we can find you.
At Ellis Tyco on Instagram. You can follow me at Kareem Ellis. I mean, I don't know, it's spelled Cream, but also www.ellistycompany.com.
Okay. And you working on some new music too. You got some
Yeah,
beats
I have a
coming up.
couple albums I'm working on. So
Okay.
one with an artist named Yaya, which should be out right around Juneteenth. And the other one, there's not a date yet. I'm still debating on it. So
Okay. Well, I say put it out there because the world needs to hear our gifts. Thank you again, Kareem, for sharing. And be sure to go follow him what he's doing. Go get you some bow ties because they fly. And until next time, enjoy your weekend. Thank you guys for being a part of Name a Better Duo. Peace out.